Talking true crime with MJ. Cases on the screen, yeah, we main stage. Breaking down facts every frame way. City in a voice, every word blade. They throw dirt, plot in a group chat, smile in her face. Same ones who do that. Think she soft cause she cute, let them think that. Till they see how she moved and they fall back. Men locked and can't miss one show. Refresh page when the upload go. Women watch too, tryna study her glow. Some take notes, other ones throw stones. Combos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like his share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Hey. Combos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break wheels. So like and subscribe if you know that feel. You count climb, that's the proof right there. Can't dim shine when the grind is rare. Self-made queen in a swivel back chair. Whole new world in a ring light glare. She stack funds, every post, every ad. Turning dark stories to a big brown bag. Knows the law, knows rights, never move sad. If you cross lines, then it's up, that's bad. Men obsessed, blowing up her DMs. I love you, marry me, she just skims. Women envy, wanna walk in her Timbs, but she stay or never trade for them. Convos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like his share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Convos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break wheels. So like and subscribe if you know that feel. All that gossip, all that noise. Can't shake poise, can't steal voice. Can't stay clean, mind stay sharp. Heart stay strong in the deepest dark. Convos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like his share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Convos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break wheels. So like and subscribe, let the fam all build.
What up, party people? It's your girl, MJ. I am back. How are you doing? Good folks of the algorithm. I hope everything is well with everyone. I know I've been MIA for a minute. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. During the summertime, the job and the career that I have is very, very demanding. In fact, I've been working so long, like literally constantly, almost 10 plus days straight, that I was even surprised that I was able to have enough strength to come and do a show for you today. But I wanted to because I know I haven't seen y'all for a while and I missed you guys. So if you're just coming in to say hi on your great Saturday, I hope you're having a great Saturday. Just make sure you're hitting the like button for me, or you can hit the down button. Either way, it still helps the channel. And share this out to anyone who likes these immersive conversations where we go over cold cases, new cases, current cases, you name it, we do it over here. And if you have any case that you would like me to go over on the channel, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I always heart my comments. I like feedback. So I do definitely appreciate that. So I know I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here and stuff like that because y'all haven't seen me in a while and stuff, but I definitely wanted to give some content out for you good folks. So if you are chiming in, I appreciate it. So the first case that we're going to go over today is about a hospital turns into a war zone after a man opens fire. Just me hearing about this title, and shout out to the channels that I normally review their videos, Red Tree Crime or Red Thread Interrogations or Stay Awake. Shout out to these channels. I love their video essays. They're very easy to dissect and to understand what's going on. This one was very interesting to me when I actually seen the title. So I wanted to go ahead and review with you good folks. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Let me go ahead and pull my screen up. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. And here we go.
Your son, what's your son's name?
Keontae. K-E-Y-U-N-T-A.
Barrett. He got a tattoo on his arm. Is it? On my blue rose and Susan. Susan. And some other tattoos.
This is Ron Barrett and Susan Allen, the parents of Keontae Barrett. Just an hour earlier, they were informed that their son was fighting for his life after a violent shooting at a local music venue. Keontae's parents had remained calm up until this point, but what the detectives were about to tell them would cause the entire hospital to spiral into chaos.
He was brought in. It was too much damage. He didn't make it? No, sir.
After pushing past the detectives, Keontae's parents ran down the hallway and announced their son's death to a waiting room full of more family members, resulting in total anarchy. Officers were forced to step in as multiple fights broke out, and amidst the pandemonium, one name in particular was being thrown out and blamed for this tragedy. Following this clue would lead to a complex investigation with multiple suspects.
Hey!
Dozens of witnesses.
I'm telling you, this man right here is a genius. Whatever he's doing, you this close to going to jail right now, so don't play with me.
And ultimately, a killer that nobody expected.
Anybody in our group, anybody you ask will tell you up and down that's not even possible. It will never happen. We're all like family.
Two hours earlier, 911 calls poured into the Smith County Sheriff's Office to report a shooting at a concert.
Smith County 911, what is your emergency?
We need somebody at Tidwell. Tidwell, please, somebody just got shot. We were at a party at Tidwell and someone was shooting and someone got shot. They were one of my friends.
Okay, I've got people on the way, okay?
Within minutes, a deputy arrived at the Crossroads music venue and parked down the street. As he exited his vehicle, he was immediately approached by horrified witnesses of the shooting.
Where's he at? Just got shot down. Where's he at? They're right at the warehouse, the shooter. There's a guy with a white shirt with a gun. The gun's here now. Okay, all right. 24 getting reports that the gunman has already left the scene. I'm going to go ahead and double check. Several subjects are leaving at a high rate of speed. You might want to pick it up, guys. Nobody knows. Nobody knows at this time where the suspect is. You guys okay?
Yes, somebody up there is bleeding. He's bleeding out. He got shot and bleeding.
We got one victim according to witnesses. Is the shooter still up there? Shooter? Sample, we got two victims. One shot in the leg, the other one, I don't know where he's hit. He's unresponsive at this time.
EMS is on scene. They're coming.
Who did this? Does anybody know who did this? Nobody? No.
As you just heard, the officer quickly located two gunshot victims. One victim was Contrell Miller, known as Trell. Trell had been shot in the leg but was immediately cared for by a close friend who helped tie off the wound and save his life. The other was 20-year-old Keontae Barrett, aka Head. Keontae was shot twice in the back and was already unconscious. First responders performed CPR as they waited for EMS.
Up the hill, unit on the right, 2 gunshot wounds, and you'll see him right at the top of the hill. 10 for EMS on site. Up the top to the right.
Within minutes, EMS arrived on the scene and immediately jumped into action to save Keontae's life. Although Keontae's injuries were life-threatening, EMS was able to establish a pulse. They then loaded him into the ambulance and transported him to the UT Health Hospital for emergency surgery. A third victim was found and transported to the hospital as well, 18-year-old Ira Brown Jr., who was also shot in the leg. Soon after, the lead investigator for this case, Detective Teresa Smith, arrived on the scene and she was caught up to speed.
Shooting happened with life, right? Yes. You're going to walk in, there's a stage right in the middle. On the left-hand side is where the casings are.
Inside the building, drinks were thrown to the ground, chairs were flipped over, and multiple objects were covered in blood spatter from the victims being shot. Also, 2 9mm bullet casings were found on the stage. This evidence alone wasn't enough to piece together the events of that night. So, while the Criminal Investigations Division gathered physical evidence,
So off the bat, it just seems like it was a party or some form of concert that went awry. Someone ended up shooting, and it doesn't seem necessarily it was a particular target, like someone was actually being hunted down to get shot, because numerous other people have gotten shot too. And that's the problem when people don't know how to just go out and have a good time, have fun, and go home, right? Sometimes you would have to wonder, why do individuals bring, I guess, weapons and stuff like that to certain events? If you're that scared of your protection, then I say stay your ass in the house, right? It's unfortunate, really, because now someone lost their life. Luckily, the guy who got shot in the leg, he had a friend, an actual friend there, who knew the basics of, stopping, putting a fake tourniquet on the leg to stop the bleeding, so he doesn't bleed out on the street. It's sad. If you really think about it, it's really sad. But let's hear what else they have to say about this. So far, they don't have no suspects. They just know that a shooting have occurred.
Deputies relocated the witnesses away from the crime scene and focused on gathering as much information from them as possible.
This blood is my friend's. That's who I was carrying. That's who I was carrying. Two was shot in the leg. One is headed to the hospital right now, and one shot in the side. I don't know.
You didn't see anything happen?
No, sir.
Shots started going off probably like 10, 15 seconds after the fight started.
And as soon as it happened, everyone got down and got off the stage.
Speaking with the witnesses, the deputies learned that 15 to 20 people were on the stage when a fight suddenly broke out. Moments later, 5 to 6 shots were fired from an unknown shooter. At this point, the investigators had only found 2 bullet casings, so there must have been more of them somewhere in the venue. While the investigation at the crime scene continued, detectives Sean McClanahan and Tyrodrick Loftus were at the hospital getting the surviving victims' sides of the story, starting with Kentrell.
We're trying to figure out if there was a beef with somebody, if there was somebody pissed off at you or him. If you guys were up there rapping, was it a rap battle? Were you talking crap about somebody?
Music. We was just trying to get people off the stage that didn't belong. And dude, was just going on. And then he started throwing his hands, and everybody else started fighting.
Do you know who that dude was?
All Kentrell knew was that he was on stage with his friends when some random guy in a green bandana started harassing them and punched him in the face. He didn't know the person who had punched him, and he didn't see anybody with a gun. Since Kentrell's story was extremely vague and didn't provide much useful information, the detectives moved on to the next victim for answers, Ira Jr.
So what's going on?
Basically, we're at a function.
Hey, Uda, how you
Some
doing?
people
Good
had
day
gotten
to
into
you.
an altercation, and they jumped on the stage and swung at one of my friends. And then the next thing I know, pow, we don't know who shot him.
What was this? Was this like open mic or a certain group performing? Or I mean, what was
It was
this?
like it was just a group on the stage.
What was the name of the group?
It was TBS and that Chicos.
Ira describes the Head Honchos as a group of friends that make music and frequently throw local parties. All 3 of the victims were part of the Head Honchos, so it was likely that whoever shot them had some sort of beef with them.
This is why we have to admit that these groups and bands and things that I saw, not all the time they're just of a innocent nature, right? Sometimes they actually form as a gang or some form of organization. And it does make sense. If the only people that supposedly got hit is from one particular group, or everybody know that these individuals associate with this quote unquote rap team or rap group, then yes, people are going to believe that it has to be something like some rival type of situation. And if this was a rap battle, and this is exactly what the cop was asking, was a rap battle going on? Was you dissing someone? Was dissing going back and forth? Because those things tend to happen, right? In rap battles, if you ever been to one, they can get really ugly, right? They go under the skin. I think that's even how drill rap or drill music was actually formed, right? From underground rap battles, people having beef with each other, and then it went to another level where it's actually people losing their lives. So it makes a lot of sense why the officer were asked those type of questions. And you can tell that even though the individual is in pain and he's trying to recover from his wounds, he's going to play it off like, hey, listen, we were just being innocent. We were just having a good time. We wanted someone to get off the stage that was being rowdy and carrying on. He's not going to go really into detail what his rap group is about or what they have done before. It wouldn't make any sense for him to do that. But let's go on.
The dude in the green bandana, the dude that kept jumping on stage, someone was just trying to get him to calm down or whatever. They kept just jumping on there, acting a fool. And then after that, I just saw some punches thrown and then clap.
Have you ever seen him before? The dude with the green bandana?
I've maybe seen him like once or twice like, around town.
Although Ira couldn't remember who the guy in the green bandana was, the deputies at the crime scene found somebody else who might know. Colin, another member of the Head Honchos, had a good view of the stage when things started to go downhill.
Oh, did you see anything?
I was the DJ.
Okay.
I was on stage. I was DJing, and I started seeing a scuffle. So naturally, I turned to music. Then I turned off the music. The next thing I knew, I just heard the shots, and we all just got down. My friend Trey was hit. My friend Junior was hit. And I went outside. My friend was in on the game.
Colin also confirmed that the person who started the fight was the person in the green bandana, someone named PJ.
PJ? PJ is one of the people involved in?
Yeah, that's what I only know his alias is PJ.
He said that there was a lot of tension with PJ since he had picked fights with the Head Honchos in the past.
So nickname just PJ, or is that short for something? Those who's initials?
It might be short. PJ.
Anybody know where PJ lives?
The apartment complex in Tyler. That's all I can tell you. He lives there with his mom.
Okay. So PJ lives with his mom.
Although nobody was accusing PJ of being the shooter, he might know who the shooter was. Witness interviews were wrapped up, and back at the hospital, detectives received word that Keontae had succumbed to his injuries. As you saw at the beginning of this video, Keontae's parents were then brought into a private room where they learned the tragic news about their son.
He was brought in. It was too much damage. He didn't make it. No, sir.
After pushing past the detectives, Keontae's parents ran down the hallway and announced their son's death to a waiting room full of more family members. As the entire family grieved, they were frantically announcing possible suspects. One of those possible suspects was another member of the Head Honchos, Trayvon Maddox. The detectives asked people why they believed Trayvon was the shooter, and several people said that Trayvon had apparently pulled out a gun when the fight broke out on stage. The investigators now had two leads to pursue, PJ and Trayvon. Since they didn't know PJ's real name or address, they decided to hunt down Trayvon first. Trayvon was actually at the scene earlier that night, and the deputies wrote down his address in case they needed to reach him. So
just think about that. You have Trayvon in the back. You have witnesses that can confirm that Trayvon pulled out a weapon. Even though the person with the green bandana, PJ, was seen or believed by the witnesses that he was the initiator of the confrontation. That means that if Trayvon pulled out the weapon, if nobody else have confirmed that anybody else pulled out the weapon, now they have to go and figure out whether or not, if it's true that he pulled out a weapon, can they retrieve a weapon from him? And then he will have to be held accountable for the people who have gotten shot and the people who have lost their life, right? And the bad thing about this, if you really think about it in totality, Trayvon is a part of that group. So that means that he, not purposely, but he harmed people in his group. He didn't even harm the people that he set it out to, I guess, defend his group or himself from. And this is the problem when you're reckless with a weapon. We don't know if he legally have a weapon or should be carrying one, but you're shooting in the middle of the night when it's a dark kind of nightclub concert type of situation. You don't know where that bullet is going to go. That bullet can hit anyone. That bullet can have anyone's name on it. So that's one of the biggest problems about this too, right? Now you hurt people that you love or care about. If this is Trayvon, if Trayvon is the actual shooter, he has to live with the fact that he harmed people that he was supposed to, quote unquote, be protecting. But let's go on.
The detectives went straight to his apartment to speak with him.
Hey, Trey, how are you? Good morning. Hey, so of course, You know why we're here, right? About what happened last night? Yeah, because I know you were one of the individuals there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Did you ever know if any of them like made it? Cause I know one of them died, but the other two.
Did you ever go to the hospital?
I couldn't go to the hospital because they thought I did it. They thought like I shot him, like literally.
Right away, Trayvon began giving his own recollection of events leading up to the shooting. He said that a group of people from the west side of town, which included PJ, kept coming onto the stage looking for a fight.
West side people came on stage and they hit my homeboy Trail.
Okay.
So when they hit him, I heard 2 gunshots. He got hit in the leg. He said, "Oh, I'm shot." So I grabbed his gun. I shot in the air. There's a bullet hole in the. You can go look at Tidwell. There is a bullet hole in the air. The reason I shot my gun in the air, or Trail's gun, because he got shot. I was trying to get everybody out of there.
Following the gunfire, everybody ran out of the building, at which point Trayvon saw Keontae lying on the ground.
We didn't know he was shot. We thought he was drunk or something. I thought he was drunk, literally.
Yeah.
I was like, get up, get up, get up. And then he was like, bro, I'm shot, I'm shot. And we looked at his back and his head, and he was actually shot. And so I stayed there the whole crime scene. Like, the police got my name and everything. So that's why I was so
Yeah, that's why we're here to talk to you and stuff like that.
That's why I was so confused when they say I shot him. Like, I would not stay in no crime scene if I shot somebody.
Where's the gun at?
You said, where is the gun? Yeah. The gun is in my car. Like, I didn't drive my car here because I was drunk.
Already, the detectives were suspicious of Trayvon's story. He said that 2 gunshots went off, and then he fired a warning shot into the air. But while telling the story, he points his gun at the air while describing the first 2 shots, as if he had actually shot first. The detectives also couldn't help but wonder why Trayvon didn't report these details while at the scene.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody has been mentioning your name and stuff, okay? And that's why we're here.
This is why it's very important sometimes that you need to stay quiet. I always preach this on this channel, that you need to stay quiet. Once you're starting to get in a investigation about any incident, whether if they have you as a suspect, have you as a witness, whatever the case, do not talk, do not speak, okay? Because that's how you can incriminate yourself. And you can incriminate yourself even if you're innocent. I want people to understand that, right? A lot of the times when it has to do with the law, it's not necessarily about who's really innocent and who's really guilty. It's about what evidence can be riled up and piled up, and if it is going to be logical and reasonable for the jury or a judge to think that this is how the events played out. That's all they have to do. Once the story makes sense, then anybody can be held accountable if they're on the wrong side of that story. So we always preach here to stay silent, remain silent, and let professionals, lawyers, or whoever, even a public defender, let them speak on your behalf. Don't try to necessarily do everything on yourself, because there's a lot of things that you don't understand, right? There's a lot of things that you do not understand. Now, he went on to, I guess, since people was throwing out the narrative that they seen him with the gun, that made him be like, hey, no, it wasn't me. I did shoot, I did have a gun. I admitted those things, but it wasn't me who did it. But sir, you don't really even know if you weren't the person. This is what you're assuming, because in your mind, you're saying, I will never harm the people who got harmed. Those are the people that's in my group. I only took out the weapon for protection, but you don't know that. You don't know where the bullet actually hit. You don't know where your bullet actually hit, right? And then now with the body language gave up a little bit too, because you made it seem like you was telling it from your point of view, not you explaining the story as in this is what you saw, right? You're making it seem like you were the shooter. So that's a problem. Seriously, that's a real problem. But we're gonna get back into this. Let's see. Richard, how are you? Happy Saturday. He says, do an Overseer Tatum interview. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely put that on the books.
Here, just to let you know, yeah, we do need you coming with us though. Okay, we are going to be detaining you right now and taking you downtown. Okay, because here's the thing, and you're right. I want to get your side of the story. I want to know exactly what happened, and if That's what you're telling me.
That's exactly.
Tell me so I can find these people because you know that.
Can I get dressed?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Can he?
Shoes on?
Yeah. Can he come in? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What kind of car are you driving?
After grabbing some new clothes, Trayvon was escorted to the sheriff's office for a formal interview.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's what.
All right, Trey. Please do me the kindness of walking me through what happened tonight.
Trayvon told them the same thing that he said at his apartment, that a group of people from the west side of town shot up the party, and the only reason he fired his gun into the air was to disperse the crowd.
But I'm glad I didn't go to hospital because they thought it was me, because they seen me with a gun. The only reason they seen me with a gun is because I was on stage. The other people that were shooting were in the crowd. That's why they couldn't see them with the gun. So they seen me with the gun. When I shot in the air, they seen me with the gun, and they were like, "Oh, he has a gun. He shot the party up." Like, that's basically what happened. Like, basically.
So this individual that punched Trail, do you know his name or anything?
His name
PJ. Okay. Is there anything that sticks out about PJ?
He's very short and he has dreads.
Very short.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Very short. But I
He's
say
very.
So this is another reason why I say be quiet, right? Because he's making up his own narrative. You don't know if anyone shot who wasn't on the stage. So someone was shooting in the crowd. You don't know that. You're assuming that the other, I guess, gunshots that you probably heard or anybody heard had to come from somebody off the stage. And the only reason why they're saying it's you because they saw you on the stage, you're elevated, that you had a weapon, but you pulled it out. But you don't know that. If they go and investigate the area, right, and they close it all down once the shooting happened, they already picked up the shells. They can confirm whether or not if there's more than one shells. Y'all are not going to have the same gun, right? Every gun is different in this specific thing. You're not going to have the same gun. You're not going to really necessarily have the same shells. So there has not been anything been told saying, hey, we picked up 3 different sets of shells, gun shells. They haven't said that. They only said they had one. You're the only one who have confirmed out of your mouth that you had a weapon. They don't hear about anybody else. Now I know why you did it, because you did it because you don't think that it was you who made who shot anyone. Yes, you pulled out the weapon. Yes, you shot in the air. Apparently, that's what you say. You shot in the air. So you don't believe that you actually hit anyone, right? And that's why you was very comfortable to say that, like, I have nothing to hide. But again, you don't know what the bullet from your gun did. You do not know. It was too dark to know what happened, right? Until you see the aftermath where people are shot, people are running around and screaming. So you told on yourself, because the detectives, they're not going to tell you right now why they're having a conversation with you, but they're looking at you like, wait a minute, you can't say that there was a whole other group of people shooting from the crowd that wasn't on the stage, because nobody has said that anybody was shooting from the crowd. Nobody have said that. And they have already talked to how many witnesses? Literally that night. No one said that they had shots coming from the crowd to the stage. They said that they heard, they seen shots coming from the stage to the crowd. That's why it would have been better for you just, to stay quiet, especially since you're saying that one of the reasons why you did not go down to the hospital is because everybody was saying that you did it, right? So if everybody already put that narrative out on you, the best bet for you to do was just to remain quiet, let the investigation play out so they can clear you, and let that be the end of it. But if you're doing things like this, you're saying, oh yeah, I seen what happened. Yeah, there had to be somebody shooting from this. You're digging yourself a hole. You're digging yourself a hole. At the end of the day, they're going to make sure and try to clear you out, whether or not if you did it or not. You're not getting away with that. You have to be cleared out of the situation. But let's go on.
Very short. He has dreads. Is he part of a gang?
The 60s, rolling 60s. The one that shot the party up was rolling 60 because he was outside. I walk outside and this is all I heard. He was like, you one of them that was on stage. Y'all wanted next. My baby mama at the house, she heard it too. Like, she was like, chill out, because she knew him. She was like, chill out, G, chill out, G.
Not a single person except for Trayvon had mentioned someone named G having a gun. It seemed that Trayvon was merely trying to pin the blame on somebody else to take the focus off of himself.
So G, describe G for me.
I got a picture of him.
Trayvon took out his phone and helped to identify G as 22-year-old
Yes, it
Giovari
definitely was a friendly
McCollister,
fire. I don't
aka
think he meant to
Gio.
do it.
So let me ask you this. Why didn't you tell us this story while we were on scene?
I was just drunk. I did not want to say anything that didn't happen or anything that over-exaggerates something, so I was just keeping it short, and I would talk to y'all tomorrow.
Although they were skeptical of Trayvon's accusations towards Gio, it was important to rule out any potential suspects. So, Trayvon was charged with deadly conduct for discharging a weapon during the party, and he was kept in custody while several deputies staked out Gio's house. At around 10 a.m., Giovari was seen leaving his house in a black Chevy Impala. The deputies followed him and decided to pull him over.
Hey, felony stop, guys, felony stop. 57 is pulling over just by the 12 Oaks Motel.
As soon as they put on their lights, Gio found the nearest side street and pulled over.
Here's the list.
Driver, roll down your window. Go ahead, throw your keys out. Keep your hands out the window. Step out. Keep your hands up, turn away from me. Back up slowly. Keep backing up. Hey, stop right there.
Gio complied with all of the deputies' orders. He was placed into the back of a police cruiser while they conducted a search of his vehicle.
Have any guns? Yeah. In your trunk? What kind of gun is it? It's a Glock.
Hey, he said there should be a Glock 22 in the truck.
He was clearly concerned as he watched the deputies search his vehicle, and was especially bothered when the tow truck driver arrived. He yelled from the back seat, trying to get the deputies' attention.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
The deputies confiscated his gun for the crime lab to analyze it, to determine if it had been discharged at the crime scene. Gio calmed down after learning he would get his belongings back after they were processed by forensics.
All right, we checking my car. Liberty.
Going to Liberty.
If everything's good, you get it back later on.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
He was transported to the Smith County Sheriff's Office, where Detective Smith was already waiting to question him.
So tell me what you know.
I get that, whatever this is. I mean, I can tell there's a lot of tension going on from some guys that's on the dance floor, some guys that's on the stage. Next thing I know, man, some guys that's on the dance floor, they got on stage. And they probably start fighting for like 10, 15 seconds. That's when you hear the first shot. Pow! And then after the first one, like two more went off. They were like back to back. They were like pow, pow.
Gio said that he didn't even have his gun on him when the gunshots first rang out. Apparently, he only grabbed his gun when he realized his friend's sister named Precious might be in danger.
I didn't have my gun in front. I got my gun from the car. I came back. I didn't see Precious. So I'm leaving. So once I'm leaving, two young dudes like, hey bro, can you get in the car with you? I'm gonna ride. So I dropped them off and that was it.
That's the thing, right now, of course the reason why you're here is because people saw you with, you had a gun in your hand, so
people saw me with a gun. And that's what I told y'all, like, I'm finna go look for Precious, and if anything go on, I'm gonna defend myself.
Did you, at any point when you were in there, did you see anybody with a gun? Did you see any of that?
With the shooting, like with that part, like on stage and with the fighting, the shooting, I cannot tell you who threw the first punch. I can't tell you who shot who. I can just tell you exactly what I seen and exactly what I did last night.
Hey,
The
Zero,
detectives
how you
were
doing?
ultimately
Long time no
unable to
see.
poke
Hope
any
everything's
holes in
well with
Gio's
you this
story.
Saturday.
However, they kept him detained while they searched his house for evidence. During the search, they were unable to locate any evidence of his involvement. All they needed to clear Gio's name at this point were the results from the crime lab.
Now, I'm not gonna hold you. Gio seemed like he's telling the truth, even with his tonnage, he doesn't seem like he's lying. He doesn't seem like he's fabricating anything. The fact that he's followed all orders from the beginning that they stopped him until now, he has just followed everything, and everything's starting to seem like it's clearing out for him, right? He doesn't seem like he was not being forthcoming on anything. And I think he's going to be clear. I don't even think it was him. I don't think it was him at all. He didn't really seem too worried or too concerned. Like sometimes when people get pulled over and stuff like that, and they know that they have something on them or whatever not, or they got something like hanging in the back of their head, they'll try to do things to get out of it. I even had a situation happen like that about like 2 weeks ago, where I was with a couple of officers and stuff like that, and they had to do a random check. And the individual, all he had to do was just like show his ID and stuff like that. And he at first act like he was going to comply, but then he didn't. He tried to literally bum rush us, like literally like do a football move and bum rush us and try to run. So we found out later on why he tried to do that, because not only was he on parole, he was also selling medication. He was selling pills, and he had all of that with him and a weapon. So that's what it is. Like sometimes I understand why people don't like the random stops or the random searches, but sometimes they are needed. Sometimes there's situations that do call for you to, just to say, hey, everything going on, everything's okay. I get it. But yeah, in that situation, that was a reason why that needed to happen, because he most likely he had a book bag acting like he was going to school. So most likely he was probably going to sell those pills to students, right? Oh, thank you. Okay, you got to go to work today. Thank you. I appreciate you for stopping in for a little bit. Stop. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go on. Let's see if Gio gets cleared
to see if he really didn't shoot his gun at the party. Likewise, the only way to clear Trayvon as a suspect was to test his gun as well and determine if he truly did shoot it just once, like he claimed. However, during his interview, he informed the detectives that finding his gun might be more difficult than expected.
Where the gun is right now, y'all are going to have to drag a lake to get that gun, because like you see the messages where I cussed my homeboy out for throwing that gun in the lake, because I told him that is my only evidence of proving that I did not shoot him. Like,
did he throw it in the lake?
I hope,
you hope not?
I hope not, but that's what he told me. He said, I hope he's like lying and just trying to keep the gun, and I hope he gives it back once y'all talk to him.
To clarify, Trayvon was saying that his friend Nathan apparently threw his gun into a lake even though Trayvon never told him to. The detectives found this story extremely suspicious and struggled to believe that Trayvon had no part in his gun being disposed of. Regardless, they didn't let this hiccup discourage them. Even if it was submerged in water, it may still be viable for forensic testing, if they could find it soon enough. Deputies immediately went to Nathan's house, and while a dive team searched the pond on his property, Nathan was brought back to the sheriff's office for an interview. He told the detectives that several members of the head honchos showed up to the hospital after Keontae died, and one of them came up to Nathan with something important to tell him.
She shows up and she's like, I've got this, Trey gave me this gun.
Mm-hmm. Trey gave Egg the keys to his car and gave Egg the gun. And she's like, we have to get rid of it, Trey said. And then she had said she wanted to go to Lake Tyler to drop it off and throw it in the lake. And this is where I was just like, that's dumb. Don't do it there. People are gonna see you doing it. Just come out to my land and put it in my lake. She just kept freaking out, and said she wanted to get rid of it. And I was like, fine, just give it to me and I'll do it.
So she took the gun out of the trunk and handed it to you?
Yeah, she followed me down to the lake. And then I threw it in the lake and we just went back.
According to Nathan, he was just trying to help his friend, who he believed was innocent.
Anybody in our group, anybody you ask will tell you up and down that's not even possible. He never even pointed at anybody. I saw him pick it up and he went straight up, shot it, and then he put his arm back down.
Okay.
Although Nathan made the investigation much harder than it needed to be, he didn't receive any criminal charges and was free to go after handing over his phone as evidence. Thanks to the diving crew, the gun was found rather quickly and sent directly to the crime lab for forensic testing. Now that both Gio and Trayvon's guns were being tested, the detectives shifted their focus to the one person of interest that they hadn't spoken to yet, the man in the green bandana, PJ. They were eventually able to identify PJ as 18-year-old Peladro Wilson. He was promptly picked up and transported to the sheriff's office for questioning.
Do me a favor, start to finish. Tell me from the minute you got there to the minute you left, what is going on?
PJ confirmed that he and the head honchos had an ongoing beef after he fought several of their members last year.
The same people
Well, the Trey and the Trail dude who threw the party, I followed him on video and everything, and I beat him up and shit. Ever since then, he never liked me.
However, PJ didn't care that he was unwelcome and went to the party anyway.
I got into an argument with a girl. She out in my face. Me and my boys just walked off. I'm on probation, so I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed. I'm in my right mind, and nothing can throw me off at this point. I remember everything. It's crystal clear.
Following his scuffle with the girl he stepped on, he and his friends were hanging out at the back of the venue when Cantrell got on the mic and called him out.
And then the other dude that I fought, he said, "It's some pussy in here trying to fight a female. They need to get the what?" I hope you're not talking about me, because that was the only altercation. I wasn't trying to fight no damn girl. So I go up to the stage, I'm confronting him. Like, Trey, pull up his shirt. We see the gun. What the fuck?
PJ said that this interaction annoyed him, and he admitted to starting the altercation that led to the shooting. But despite nobody accusing PJ of being one of the shooters, he ended up giving a 29-minute monologue trying to convince the detectives that he had no reason to shoot anybody, and he had nothing to hide.
I don't have no motive to shoot any of them. Don't have no gun. I done laid all the chips on the table. Whatever y'all want to know.
Man, all that you just said sounded dumb as shit.
What you mean?
Just what I said. You this close to going to jail right now, so don't play with me. If they was so lame, why were you there? It was their party.
About 30 hoes posted this on Snapchat.
I don't care what they do.
Regardless.
It was a party. Hey, when I shut your mouth without talking.
This argument continued for a while, but eventually the detectives explained to PJ that all they wanted to know was who he thought the shooter was.
I'm telling you, this man right here is a genius. Whatever he doing like raise my blood pressure, high, low.
Because I'm catching you in your life.
Besides Trey,
all right, besides
who had a gun? Who was shot?
Him.
That's it. The only person you saw a gun with was Trey.
And that was on my life. That's on my little girl. I heard he got shot.
Now, here's the thing, right? That detective, the black detective, he was getting sick of his shit. He started talking to him and cussing at him like he was his daddy. You said, "You sound like a whole damn fool. Do you even hear yourself? You know that you had a fight with this guy prior. You knew that his whole crew was there. Of course, the guy is not going to like you if you quote unquote beat him up on camera. He like, why would he like you, right? You went out of your way to go to their party. They're the ones who are hosting a party. Then you get in an argument with a woman. They see you that you're getting an argument with a woman. I don't necessarily believe that, because if everybody's drunk and they're vibing and all the stuff like that, him just, arguing with a random woman, I don't really see that. I think that he was probably also saying something back to them. And then he went on the stage and confronted them. So yes, he was an instigator, right? A lot of the stuff that happened that night wouldn't have happened if he wasn't even there. And definitely if he would have left with his friends instead of going to confront the guys on the stage. But just because he's an instigator doesn't mean that he's a murderer, right? Just because he's an instigator doesn't mean that he's a murderer. There was someone who actually took out a weapon and started shooting that harmed several people at that party. And that's all the detectives really care about, right? That's what they really care about. Now, they have any involvement that it was him or somebody else or some that had a weapon outside of the two weapons that they was able to obtain from Gio and Trey, then that's what they want to know. The detectives are just trying to make sure that they are getting all the evidence that they possibly could get, new leads, things of that sort. They have to make sure that they can seal the deal to actually confirm whether or not who shot someone, right? That's what just happened right here. Sebastian, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I hope everything's well with you and your family. He says someone had to say it. Yep, someone did have to say it. I agree.
And nobody didn't shoot him but his goddamn friend, and that's the honest to God truth. I'm not gonna say if he did shoot, but that's the only gun that I seen at the party with my own eyes, and that's the God honest truth.
PJ's interview was wrapped up, and he handed over his cell phone for analysis.
They gonna go through all my messages?
What you worried about?
I got some now.
Oh my Lord have mercy, we don't care about that.
Yeah,
Seriously?
You gotta look for
Over the next month, multiple more witnesses were interviewed and several phones were thoroughly searched, but there were no breakthroughs in the case. Then, on May 18th, the forensic analysis finally came back from the crime lab. The detectives brought Trayvon into the interrogation room one last time to share their findings.
We do have to tell you something.
What is that?
And it's not good news.
What is that?
Barrett and Keontae.
Keontae?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was murdered by that gun.
How was he murdered by that gun? How was he shot by that gun if I did not shoot him with that gun? How was he murdered by that gun?
The bullet that killed Barrett came from the gun that was in your hand.
How?
Forensic science, okay? They did all the testing. The gun was shot more than once. You may have not realized it.
I did not shoot that boy. That was my friend.
I know.
Why would I shoot him?
Honestly, I believe it was an accident.
I
Do you believe it was an accident?
did not shoot him.
The detectives informed Trayvon that he was being charged with murder, but Trayvon refused to believe that he could have done that to one of his best friends. He insisted that he only shot in the air and suggested that it may have ricocheted off of the roof and hit Keontae. But regardless of how it played out, the detectives believed that he was responsible for Keontae's death since he had intentionally pulled the trigger. However, the murder charge ultimately didn't hold up, and he later pled guilty to manslaughter. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. As for Gio, the forensics for his gun came back clean, so he was cleared as a suspect. It seemed like this was an open and shut case, but there's one crucial aspect of the case that we mentioned earlier but never revisited. Moments later, 5 to 6 shots were fired from an unknown shooter. At this point, the investigators had only found 2 bullet casings, so there must have been more of them somewhere in the venue. It turns out that the crime scene investigators had discovered 3 more bullet casings, but they weren't the same kind as the one Trayvon had shot. Therefore, even though one of Trayvon's bullets was responsible for killing Keontae, this confirmed that there was more than one shooter. To this day, no other shooters have been identified, and nobody but Trayvon has been charged in this case. Trayvon Maddox currently resides at the Smith Unit in La Mesa, Texas, and is set to be released in the year 2029.
Well, as you see, that's exactly what happened. He ended up shooting his friend. It wasn't necessarily on purpose, but it was his gun that shot and harmed his friend, or probably shot other people. I'm glad to understand that they said that there was more than one shooter, apparently, because they found other shellings. That's why I was looking for the report to say that there was other shellings. That lets me know that there was other guns. But from them, is they found who they wanted to find. The person who shot the weapon that killed the young man. That's what they found. It's sad because, I know he probably feel like shit. I know he probably feel like shit, but then he kind of did understand that it was a possibility that he probably did do it. That's why he did things to try to, move the detectives into looking into Gio and other individuals and stuff like that. Because of course you're going to be scared. You don't really know, but you know that you don't want it to be you. He got 4 more years and he'll be out. Well, actually 3 more years and he'll be out. But yeah, prayers to the family. You see how devastated they was after losing their son. The whole family was in there like bawling out of control. And it's sad because the father looked like he was literally rushed off his job because of this incident, and that's just something terrible to have to experience, losing a child. Nobody should have to lose a child. No one should have to lose a child. Let's see. Tommy said, I told you. No, yeah, you did. You said it was a friendly fire. I agree. Sebastian said, fuck. Yep. Shady intro. Happy Saturday. He said, that's messed up. I hope he can live with what he did. I hope so too. I hope he can make amends of that, because I know that's really can eat a person, alive, especially if they have a conscience. It's one thing if you don't have a conscience, but if you have a conscience, that's something deep to live with, All right, guys. So I do have another case for you good folks. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. I truly appreciate it. It does help the channel. Share this out with anyone who likes these immersive conversations where we go over old cases, new cases, current cases, you name it, we do it here. And if you have any cases that you would like me to review on this channel, go ahead and put it down in the comment section after the end of the live stream. I like all my comments, guy. I do like good feedback. So I do appreciate you nonetheless. I appreciate you nonetheless. So the next case that I have for you good folks, I want to see which one I want to do. Because I'm not going to keep y'all too long. It's a beautiful Saturday. Y'all should enjoy it. But the next case we're going to do is a jealous wife realizes they found her husband's body. This happened back in, I think, 2023. So it's not that current, but it's still a current case. And we're going to go ahead and look at this one. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I think, okay. So let me know if y'all can see this. I hope you can. And here we go.
Police responded to reports that a man had been shot and killed, and his body was lying in the middle of his driveway. When they arrived on scene, the victim's daughter was one of the first witnesses to speak with police.
What happened?
You don't. So, my dad called me and said that my mom had shot the house up. So we came over there to go see what happened. And then we saw my dad take off, so we followed him to see what happened. And then we see this car parked and he's on the floor. They were about to turn around, they were about to flip around the corner.
Whose car? Do you guys know whose car this is?
It's his car.
Oh, it's his car? Whose bike is that?
It's his bike. We
Okay.
just got here. They just all got here.
What kind of car does your mom drive?
Hyundai.
Hyundai? Do you know what color?
Black.
Black. What's that?
She was shot at the house before. Way before this.
10 minutes ago. Does she live here with him or does she live somewhere else?
She lives with my dad, but she hasn't showed up. She hasn't
been around in
like
a month or two, cheating on her husband and stuff.
The victim's daughter.
So before we go on, I feel so bad for this young girl. I feel bad for children who has to see these things that are a part of our reality now. She's seen her father get shot and hurt. You can see how hysterical she is, even trying to explain what's going on to the police officer. The fact that this is literally her mother, right? And then now it seems like her and the other siblings are also telling that this is not the first time their mother have done this. So it seems that when their mother is upset or something happens with her marriage dynamics, not necessarily the family dynamics, she ends up going straight to her weapon and letting off a couple. This is really sad and unfortunate because, just even though her husband is the one that's hurt, so many other people could have gotten hurt. The kids could have gotten hurt. A neighbor could have gotten hurt. A neighbor's children could have gotten hurt. And I think some people don't realize that, certain things that you do really do affect other people that you think it doesn't affect. It really does. It's just a chain of events, really. Yes, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. Can we get the likes up, please? I truly appreciate it, guys. I really do. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's go on. Let's hear what else we're going to hear from this body cam.
Told police that she believed her mother killed her father and then fled in her car. After describing the make and model of the vehicle to the police, more officers were dispatched and told to find the killer. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, detectives continue speaking with the victim's daughter.
And Erica told Paula that she just sprayed the house.
Yeah.
What do you mean by sprayed the house?
Like with the gun.
With the gun? Okay, so you hear about that and you want to go check on your dad and you notice his car driving around the neighborhood?
I noticed him taking off out of the neighborhood.
You noticed him taking off out of the neighborhood, okay.
So we catched up to him and then that's when everything happened. So I didn't technically see my mom shoot him when I saw her car drive away.
How many shots did you hear?
Like 4.
Oh.
They're married.
Okay.
She's cheating on me.
Oh, okay. Have you ever met any of the other guys that she is with? if your dad knew about the other guys? No, he didn't.
The killer was identified as 39-year-old Erica Valdez. She had recently divorced her husband, Joel Valdez, and when she found out he had a new female in his life, she decided to take matters into her own hands. It wouldn't take long for the police to find and arrest her and bring her in for interrogation. At first, Erica appeared very happy as she engaged in conversation with the officers.
Well, we're going to go to a room and just have a conversation right now, okay? It's a little bit cooler, okay? Yeah. Here, step up right over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this up here, and I'll leave the other hand free, okay? Okay. Just want to kind of converse with you a little bit. One of the things is, though, I have, because you're in custody, you know you're under arrest, I have to read your Miranda rights. So I've been hearing about your difficulties.
Hey, Lord ADS, thank you so much. Shout out to you for the 30 Jules sent flower. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great Saturday, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I wanted to talk about the dynamic of the situation. So apparently she's the one who was cheating. He asked for a divorce. Okay? That's his bottom line. You cheating on me, you gone, right? Now that he moved on, she got angry and then she decided to show back up at the house and I guess shoot him or try to potentially shoot him or shoot the person that he's with. And I find that, we see a lot of situations like that occur where a person can be narcissistic, whether they're a man or a woman, and they feel that the person that they're with is their property. And when you have that mindset of the person that you're with is your property and not a free individual who can decide whether or not they want to still be with you, still entertain you or not, then we have these type of situations occur, right? Because you're the one who actually did something wrong and you're the one who actually destroyed your marriage or your relationship with the said individual. Now you want to remove the fact that that individual have a choice whether or not they want to still be with you or not. In a narcissistic's mind, they believe that you don't have a choice. You're locked in and you're locked in for life. Whatever happens or whatever goes on within the relationship or the marriage, you have to suck it up, buttercup, and endure. And that is not the case, right? So now their ego, because it's all about ego. I want people to understand that. That's about ego. That has nothing to do with love, right? That's not love whatsoever. That's all about ego. That how can you do this to me? And why won't you take me back? And all the stuff like that. That's all pure ego speaking for them, as in you somehow wrong them for taking actions because they wronged you. I just wanted to point that out about those type of situations that happen. And we see this with women. We see this with men. We just see this with people in general. There's some individuals that just operate in that way and they cannot fathom that they don't get to do things to people and hurt people and people don't have a response, behind that. Then we have to look at her now while she's having this interrogation. She seems kind of gleeful and that's very, alarming for me. She's smiling. She doesn't necessarily care what the detectives have to speak to her about. She seems very like, I'm over it kind of situation. Like I got what I wanted or I did what I wanted to do. I have the last laugh. So whatever the detective's trying to tell me, I really can care less at this point. And that's very disturbing, right? Because this is someone that you would think that you loved and cared about. That you would think that you would have some type of remorse. You feel kind of guilty. You can't even get away with it at this particular point saying that you lost your marbles. Because the way how your mannerism is, it seemed like you fully intended to do what you do. So let's go on.
Having been through a divorce myself, I know they're the hardest thing for anyone to ever try to understand unless you're in a relationship. I can never explain to anybody about how bad mine was. So I would like to know more about what is this going on. It So,
I've been having domestics forever. I call the cops all the time. He
Okay.
takes off and leaves. He's threatened to light my house on fire with my children in it. He's sick. To me, I think he's on his same shit he was back in the day when we first met, which is crystal meth through the needle. And I smell fentanyl in my home when I am home. I haven't been home in 3 weeks. It's to get clothes and to make sure my house is okay and not being ran down by a bunch of, weird people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's still my kid's home. I've been asking him to leave. My dad co-signed for the house for me and him, for us.
Erica paints a picture of an abused wife who has just been trying to keep herself and her children safe from her ex-husband. She describes him as being abusive and unfaithful to her, despite her attempts to repair their marriage.
And then I got a call from my daughter at 1 the next day saying that I killed her dad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? If I would have done that, I would have done it when I was black and blue and bleeding in front of you guys. And my, at the time, 15-year-old was standing in front of him for him not to hit me. That's nonsense. I've stuck with my family for 21 years to keep a family, not to have a separated family,
Yeah.
I was raised with my mom and dad, and that's all I ever wanted for my kids, was to have their mom and dad. And that same day, for the 4th, if you guys would have let me bring my phone, you guys could have seen me sending me pictures of revolvers, threatening my life, he's f***ing sick. If you guys look at the calls, I put him in jail not that long ago for domestics. I call all the time, I cannot do it no more. Before I used to fight back, and now I'm there's not enough energy. He threw a skateboard at me. He broke my front window. He rammed the car in my garage. He just split my hair not that long ago. He just starts shit with everybody, and I tell him, dude, we have our kids in the car. People carry guns. They're not afraid to use them either, in the messages, it'll say, oh, you're not going to answer? Oh, what are you doing? Sucking. You're crazy.
So here's the thing, right? I'm not saying that what she's saying is not true. I'm not saying that she didn't experience all that with this guy. My only thing is I always have a problem where someone waits until a situation occurs and everything that you had an issue with that individual now starts to come to surface, right? I would want to know, are there any police reports in regards to these situations? You said that he was sending you threatening messages or sending you photos of a revolver as if he was saying that he was going to use that on you. Did you go to the police with that information? When you came around the house to quote unquote pick up your things and to leave, did you have a police escort, right? Or did you just randomly show up whenever you felt like it to go to his house, knowing that a situation would happen because you're not on speaking terms with each other? I could definitely tell that it has gotten to the physical level between you and him, and this is why it's unhealthy, it's toxic, and why you cannot be in the house with each other anymore. But those are the steps that someone who really don't want to continue on with the toxic behavior, especially in front of the children, those are the steps that they do. They get the law involved, right? Even just to have a footprint that, hey, this is what's going on. I don't want any dealings with this. I need some assistance with y'all helping for us to transition into our new life where it's going to be divorce and co-parenting. I want this on record. That's what most people who are really done and over the situation do. A lot of things that she's doing is showing that she was going back and forth with the emotions and the toxicity within the relationship and marriage, because in her mind, she feels that going through this type of behavior is going to eventually give her the fruits that she wants, which will be saving her marriage, reconciliation, you name it, right? That's why she will continue to do this. But Yeah, I don't think that they necessarily buy it. I think that one of the reasons why the detectives is letting her talk, because it does tell a lot about her mindset, a lot about what she probably was doing, and eventually they'll ask her, were you there? Did you ride around in your car, or was you in his car? Did you have any help and assistance? Was somebody with you? Eventually those questions is going to play out with her, but they do have to have an understanding of her mindset of the situation. And I find it funny that initially she wasn't crying, she was actually smirking, and she seemed like she was kind of over the conversation before it began. And then now she's all teary-eyed, like everything just came hitting back at her and stuff like that. And not to mention everything that she's not explaining that if she have done anything in this situation. She's not saying, hey, I might not have done that, I shouldn't have maybe came over to his house unannounced, and then we had an altercation in front of our children, or maybe I got into something with his girlfriend that was there. Everything is just like, oh, he sent this, he sent that, he beat this, he beat that. And, after a while, if you're talking about someone who lost their life and you're a suspect, you're the primary or the priority suspect right now, it does make you look even more guilty. But let's go on.
I'm at work. I work 7 days a week because I hate to be home, and I wouldn't go home. I didn't go home. It's been 2 weeks that I haven't been home.
Erica begins talking about an incident that happened between her and her ex-husband a few weeks prior. Erica found out that her ex-husband had allowed a new female to live with him in the home they once shared. Erica claimed she felt disrespected, so she drove to her old home to confront him.
You said that you went to that house to get some clothes, and that you have the 2 girls with you.
I have my daughter's friends with me. I was like, I just want somebody to go with me to make sure nothing happens, And they're like, okay. So they got in the car and they went with me, and then the door was locked. So I revved my engine to my car, and then he came out, and I'm like, you better get her out of my house, Straw. I'm not even playing with you. I never disrespected you. That's, And he went, he's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then he pushed me in my ear, and then my daughter's friend stood in front of him and was like, don't hit her again. You better not. And I was like, you know, guys, he's not even worth it. Let's just get in the car and let's go. Okay. And then I took them home, and I went to my mom's, and then from my mom's, I went and stayed at a friend's house. That's gone.
So literally, how old is the girls that went with you that stepped in front of him?
I think she's either the same age as my daughter, 16, and I think the other one's 18. I don't even go home. I don't even feel comfortable there.
So you mean to tell me, instead of you calling the police that could have escorted you to the house to get your things, you went to the house because you overheard, or you found out from your daughter that your soon-to-be ex-husband or ex-husband has a woman in the house that y'all both shared and laid in the same bed with and all that stuff like that. And you decide that you're going to go with your daughter's friends who are 16 and 17 years old to the house to confront your ex-husband. That doesn't even seem wise. That doesn't seem I can't even put it in words. It doesn't seem like you necessarily care about anyone but yourself. You didn't care about those children. Those are young girls. Why are you having them involved in this, right? And then that makes me believe that you have had your daughter and everybody else involved in your marriage as well. It just doesn't seem the proper thing to do. And it seemed like you came over there to make a scene and to cause havoc. And now you're trying to flip it as if you're the victim and that your ex-husband is the aggressor. He's not the aggressor. You're the one who left the house until everything gets settled and taken care of. He's the one who's paying the bills of the house at this time. Do I believe it's disrespectful? Yes, maybe, no, but then that's what the courts are for, right? if that's your home, if you have proof that you're the one who put down the down payment on it, you're also on the lease, things of that sort, this is why you get the courts involved, right? In that matter, go to the courts, get the house back if you don't want to see nobody in the house. But to come there and to actually start an argument with him when with 16-year-old girls, that is like, I don't know, like that's kind of disturbing to me. I'm lost for words for that, because I would never in my life go and grab young girls to come run up on my ex. You're a grown woman. You're like in your 40s, right? You're in your 40s, maybe pushing 50, who knows? You going to go get teenagers? Why would you want to go out with teenagers, unless you are trying to get them into something, right? You want to implicate them into a crime or something happening and make it seem like, oh, the ex-husband was dealing with underage girls and you had nothing to do with it. And it was just a rival amongst girls. Like, I find it very weird why you would go get your daughter's friends to come with you to confront him about having a woman in your marital house. I find that odd. Find it odd. Hey, Skinny, how are you? Happy Saturday. Hope everything's well with you, dear. Hope everything is well with you. He said, hey, MJ, doesn't seem like it's logical. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, I don't understand. What did you really think that those 16-year-old girls was going to do? You think that they was going to pounce on a grown man? And if he hits them, maybe that's what it was. Ooh, my spider senses are tingling. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she was expecting for him to take his aggression out on these younger girls, and that would stick more, right? Because he would be touching or hurting or assaulting underage girls. That will be answered a little bit quicker than, per se, a domestic violent case between two grown adults. I don't know. That I'm thinking that's probably why she got them involved. And if she did, that's very sinister. And it also counts towards her, her character and her behavior about the situation. It really does. Even telling that story did not help her case at all. It made it look worse, because it seems like she's trying to put the ex-husband in a situation where he can get arrested, right? Or so he can be found on some form of charges or something like that. It seemed like she's going out of her way to set it up in that manner. But let's go on. Let's hear what else she has to say.
Like my house looks like a doghouse. I just bought my house 3 years ago from the ground up. He threw a rock through the front window, and that's all on report. They came, the people took pictures of everything, of me where I was bruised, where the rock, everything. I'm like, if you see my car right now, he f***ed it up. Matter of fact, for the 4th, he threw a bottle at it. He's sick. He drinks every day. Like from the minute he wakes up to the minute he would go to bed, or he didn't go to bed, should I say, morning to morning.
Erica begins talking about how weird it was that nobody called her to tell her that her husband was killed. This is the first of many attempts by Erica to show the police that she was not involved in her husband's murder.
And it's weird how Ghost and one other person were the first ones to find out how he passed away. I'm like, how do you know? I'm like, I'm his wife and I'm in his phone, and I didn't even get a phone call.
You didn't get a phone call. We didn't have a phone number for you. We didn't know where.
Oh, his number is in my phone. His phone, my number's in.
We haven't been in his phone.
Oh.
So.
If you have his phone?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll see all the messages.
Okay.
He's not in the right mind, and he's sending pictures to my phone with guns. He always talks about having to, that he'll kill my dad, and my parents could suck his. Like he's.
Okay, so again, the only problem where I have is not that none of that happened, because we can't confirm whether or not if it happened or not. But the simple fact is, you're the only one on record that went to his house or went to your house that y'all both owned at one point in time to confront him about him having another lady in the house, and you went with 16-year-olds and 17-year-old teenagers to confront your ex-husband about a woman being in your house. I don't see him talking about, or I mean, even though she's trying to say that he's abusive, he's sending her photos and stuff like that about he's gonna, unalive her and all the stuff like that. I'm still not getting that he's doing those things to you because you have another man. I'm still not even correlating that he would do all those things to you when you was found to cheat on him, right? You're the one who cheated on him, and this is why the marriage is over. This is why you're no longer in the house. Your children has already confirmed that you were cheating on him. And in fact, that the daughter met one of the guys and his name was Alex. So you're the only one so far that has been showing that during this whole cheating or domestic altercation that you and your husband been having while y'all solidified y'all divorce, you're the one who's only been lashing out and acting out on the fact that whoever's moving on first and who's in your house and who's he's dealing with. That's the only thing that's really has been shown to confirm that you've been doing this. It still have not been confirmed whether or not if he sent any of those things, right? They told you that they haven't looked in his phone yet, but I'm sure that's a lie. I'm sure they looked in his phone and I'm sure they found the opposite. I'm sure they found messages from you stating those type of things, stating that type of situation. And then you're talking about how now you're trying to separate yourself, that you didn't even know that he was gone. You didn't know that he lost his life. And I'm thinking that the reason why she's saying that other people had to call her to let her know that her ex-husband is gone is because she doesn't know that her daughter has already spoken to the police and said that mom went around, shooting guns in the house again. And my dad was found in this state. I don't think she knows that her daughter already have explained that to these officers. I think she still think that it's just like some kind of conspiracy or a homicide where they don't have a suspect. She doesn't know that all of that has already been given to the detectives. And this is why she is down there right now having an interrogation with them. But let's go on.
He's sick. I'm telling you, like
So there was no boundaries for him.
No, he has no respect. I'm telling you guys, if you guys were in regular uniform and we were somewhere and we started arguing, or he looked at me or I looked at him, he would want to fight him, or he would. Oh yeah, it would be. Everything turned south.
No filters, nothing.
So he's done time in prison, and I kind of just always helped him and dealt with it, we would have domestics and then he would go to prison and then he would get out and we would be together. He's been out for, I want to say maybe 12 this time, but the domestic started like 4 years ago. And I just kept telling him, we're going to leave. Like, I'd rather leave a best of friends. I'd rather leave instead of enemies. And he just kept saying, we'll be enemies. I catch you with anybody, I'm killing you at them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because you're sick. I'm like, but you don't want me. You tell me all the time, I'm a fat, you don't want me, this and that. And I'm like, let me be.
Erica spends another 20 minutes talking about the mental health of her ex-husband. Without being asked, Erica claims that she has cameras all over the home she shared with her ex-husband. But the weird thing is that the driveway camera, which is the one that would have captured her ex-husband's murder, was unplugged.
And everything is recorded from the back and my doorbell. I don't know how he unplugged my driveway camera. That's what I was at home all morning today. Okay. Because I was like, okay, I even in my text said, I neglected my home because of you. I told him, I'm like, I hate to go home because I'm tired of the domestics. I'm tired of hearing you. Every time I walk in, it's a fight. I told him. So I went home this morning and I was like, oh my God, this house is a mess. I was like, this is disgusting. So I cleaned my whole house this morning. I did everything.
The interview would continue for another hour, and during that time, detectives would try to get Erica to confess to killing her ex-husband. Despite their efforts, Erica would continue to claim that she was at home, cleaning, when the murder took place. Erica would be arrested and sent to county jail, where she would sit for 1 year. Detectives would receive a call from Erica's lawyer, stating
Yeah, I was just about to ask that question. So if you was at home cleaning, what house was you at? Because it seemed like you said that you went to the house early in the morning and you felt that it was in disgust. And you said that you sent in a message to him that I have been neglecting my home because of you. I haven't been able to keep up with the laundry and stuff like that. You're not doing it. So it would make perfect sense if she went to the house early in the morning and then now to say that the house have cameras all over it, but the only one that was unplugged that would have put who shot her husband because he got shot towards the back of the house or where the garage was. That was the only camera that was unplugged. Well, who would know that outside of the person who lived in that house, right? Who knows who put the cameras up, right? So I think that's why they necessarily they held her for a year, is because even within that statement, we don't necessarily know where you actually at home, wherever you went to go live, or did you actually go back to the house? That's the house that you're talking about, your the house that you shared with your ex-husband. And if you was there all morning, that means you knew when he came in, you left, you knew that the camera in the garage was unplugged, or you're the one who unplugged it. So they held her to get more evidence, right? More concrete evidence. But, tell you the truth, from her whole story from the beginning of the interrogation to now, she seems very, very guilty. She seems like she knows more than what she was letting on. She really was trying to paint the picture of this man being a very, very horrible man, and his mental state is out of whack. And she was in survival mode the whole entire time. And I'm going to say, I'm not saying that I don't believe her, but I do believe that they did have a toxic marriage. And he wasn't the only one in that marriage that was toxic. Just off of the few things that she have stated, she played a big part in a lot of on why the marriage, fell apart. And when I'm not even including just the cheating itself, because that was like the cherry on top that started the divorce. But you could just hear by her speaking that there was a lot of things that was playing out in that dynamics. You talking about he being on drugs and stuff like that, ma'am, you look like you was on drugs too. You probably met him while y'all was both doing drugs. But now you want to use something that you probably did together as something against him, and not something that's going to affect you in some way, right? You don't marry someone for 5 or 6 years and don't know that this person is doing drugs. 9 times out of 10, you was doing drugs with them. But let's go on. Let's see what happens. She's been held for 1 year. Let's see if they found any other evidence. Or maybe she wanted to confess. Who knows?
that she wanted to speak with them again.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing okay?
Mm-hmm. So on the 26th or 27th, I worked at Mike's liquor store on East Beta, and I had met a lady, and honestly, I hung out with her a couple times. I can't recall her name. I was at her house one night. We had dinner. She said her boyfriend was going to come over, which was James. We ended up drinking. I ended up going home about 3 o'clock in the morning, if that. The next morning I woke up and I had some messages from James stating that he wished that he would have went home with me and that I was so beautiful and whatever else. And me being the woman and the friend that I am, I went to the girl's house and I was like, hey, your boyfriend's texting me, whatever. She started texting me like back to back to back. I was like, you know what, you're accusing me, I'm gonna hang out with him, so I started hanging out with James, trying to stay away from the domestic violences I had been having. I hung out with James maybe 3 times, and I also hung out with Alex Reynolds, which is the shooter and my husband in the East Mountains. So 4th of July, I was in the East Mountains. I came down to Albuquerque to get my kids situated to go with her godparents.
Okay.
I ended up at the hotel. My husband and Rihanna showed up at the hotel, and my husband was waving a gun at James. And I was like, the only person that's going to be able to handle my husband is me. So I told James to go back into the hotel, and I came outside and I was like, what are you doing, Joelle? Like, what are you worried about? He's like, you're in there with some guy, blah, blah. And it was never a sexual, or I never had nothing with James. He was just a friend.
Okay.
I'm married. My vows mean way much more to me than being with anybody else but my husband. They left. And after that, I was like, go with me, James, to my house to get clothes for my kids. And he's like, your husband looks like, he's already on one. So I was like, fuck you, James, you're a bitch. And I got in my car and I went home and where I live. And as I turned the corner on the top of my house, the girl Rihanna's car was in my driveway. And I have security.
What day is
This is 4th of July.
Okay.
So I like, my alarm's going off in my house and my husband comes out and I'm like, what the f*** are you doing? And why is that bitch in my house? You better get her out of my house, Joelle. I was like, if I go in there, I'm gonna beat the f*** out of her. And he punches me. And the little girl, the 16-year-old gets in the way and is like, if you hit her again, we're gonna end up having to fight. And I was like, my husband, I already seen it. My husband had just started smoking fentanyl and shooting up crystal meth. And I stayed away from it because that's not, I don't like that. I've lost my husband to that before and getting addicted. Mm-hmm. So we jumped in my car and I shot up my house that time as I was leaving. Mm-hmm. And then Alex Reynolds called me and I picked him up at like Trujillo and 98th Street. Okay. And he's like, let's go back to your house. I'm going to beat the out of your husband. And I was like, I need clothes. I need clothes for my kids. My husband was already on one. I already knew the damages he does, what he's done to me before, so I drove back by my house and nobody was there.
You said he was on one. What does that mean?
Like on fentanyl and crystal meth. He's like very abusive.
Okay.
He sent me a picture of a gun telling me that he was going to kill me on my phone. Okay. And so when I went to my house, there was nobody there. So I tried to get down, and the way I was parked east, and I heard like a little standard car coming, and I knew it was like, I just know the sounds of cars. I live in the neighborhood, Right. So I got back in my car and I tried to take off from my husband, and so he's coming west at me and I'm going east, so we're like passing each other. Well, I tried to like take off from him, and I don't run from cops. That's just something I don't do. I don't know how to drive fast. I don't know how to like do none of that. So my husband ends up catching up to me, and he's trying to like ram my car. He's trying everything to get me to pull over. I tried to make a U-turn and he blocked me in. Alex said he was going to get out and fight him. Alex ended up getting out and shooting him.
Erica's new story is that a friend of hers named Alex was responsible for shooting and killing her husband. The detective finds this very hard to believe, so after listening to her tell her story, it's his turn to start asking questions. He begins by talking about the multiple drive-by.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy her story one bit. And the reason why is because she could have said that earlier from a year ago. She'd never mentioned Alex before. And I think the reason why she's mentioning Alex now is because she wants to get out of jail, right? And she know that she probably going to do time, and she probably spoke to her lawyer and they was like, hey, if anybody else is involved in this, I think you need to get a hold of it because you're going to do time for your husband's unaliving. And if you really didn't do anything, or if you really wasn't a part of actually trying to, kill your husband, you need to get in front of this. But it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because you started off the whole story as into why the commotion of the cheating came to play. You try to play it off that you was never cheating on him. It just so happened that your husband is on fentanyl and stuff, and he is abusive and he is very jealous. So when he saw you with a guy, he automatically assumed that you was cheating on him, right? But my thing is that Alex, the guy that you're now saying that shot your husband, your daughter a year ago confirmed that the guy that you was dealing with was Alex. The guy that you was cheating on or cheating with was Alex. So now you're trying to say that your lover was the one that was going to harm your husband. But it really didn't even make any sense for him to do that. You're the one who just admitted and confirmed that you did shoot up the house. You the one who went there to start with him because he had a girl in the house. You said that you went with the 16-year-old girls, right? But then apparently you went back to go get Alex, to go back around the house. So even in that, you will be an accomplice, right? Because you didn't go back to necessarily get your things. You went back with a man because you wanted Alex, your boyfriend at the time, to handle your husband, right? That's the reason why. So I don't know. I don't know why she think that this story is going to fly. It makes her look worse, to be honest, to me. It makes her look worse because now it seems like she intentionally went back with a man. If I was going to believe her story that Alex was actually involved or he was the one who actually pulled the trigger, it makes it seem like you really intentionally went back to harm your husband. It doesn't make you look innocent whatsoever because Alex wasn't there. You had to notify Alex. You had to drive. Remember, you was driving for your life, trying to get away from your husband. But the reason why your husband was following you is because you just shot up his house, right? You just shot up the house and he like, bitch, and he's driving off trying to follow you, and here you off trying to run away. And then you run away and you go tell your boyfriend, oh, he's out of his mind. He's going to hurt me and harm me. And he wants to come and be, super save a hoe and go and save you or confront this guy, right? But the whole thing happened and started because of you. You initiated every step going forward. It was you. You couldn't get in control of your emotions. You got carried away. You was angry. You was frustrated. You was mad. You dealt with so much with this man. You accepted so many things about this man. And then you was like, I'm not going to have some new woman come in here and get the best part of this guy when I've been dealing with this guy for years at his worst. And that made you angry, right? That made you angry, furious, and you wanted your get back. And that's what it seems. It just seemed like she wanted her get back of the whole situation. But I don't know why she thought that this story was going to help her by trying to say that Alex was the shooter. It really is not going to help you as much as you think it is, because you will still be considered the mastermind as to why your husband was shot down in front of his house. Because you went to go get Alex. You went to go get a man with a weapon to confront him. And you had already had a weapon. So the weapon that was used was probably your weapon, right? Because you shot the house up earlier. But let's go on.
By shootings he believes Erica was involved in.
We have you listed as a suspect for shooting at one of James's apparently many girlfriends. He had a number of them. So with that, you were listed as one of the suspects that had shot at this girl's house. She was one of the girlfriends. This house has been shot at twice. The reason why I find out about this house is because the gun that you had stated you had fired one time at your home, the 10mm casing linked to the other shooting at that house. So you still have a gun that's in your possession. So you're hanging out with James, but there's no, what is the purpose of being around James? Because it was started on the 28th from what I could find.
Because I didn't want to go home due to the domestics,
Casings linking you to that shooting from there and the shooting at your house. From there, that was pretty much around the 28th. On the 3rd, there is another incident occurred in the Southwest, which BCSO had passed on the reports, where there's another documented situation where you were listed subject being with James.
James was Erica's new boyfriend, whom she had begun dating right around the time of her husband's murder. Police believe that he had several girlfriends, including Erica, and when Erica found out about them, she would shoot into their homes.
Because the video that I have is with, again, you, a girl named G, and James. I'll be specific. G, her last name was Lobato, Guerrera Lobato. She goes by G on the streets. You were seen with her at that gas station. And also at that gas station, I saw you in possession of that Glock handgun. And from what I understand, the management and other personnel said that you were asking specifically for Rihanna at the gas station.
No.
So, do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay. Well, I have you on video surveillance walking in with G. James stayed in the passenger seat of the car outside. You walked around, you had your Glock in your spandex pocket, left pocket over here with the extended magazine. You would actually hold your arm across it to keep it from moving. It looked like, I'm being assumptionary. You moved from the front counter where the gas station was over to, I think it's a Carl's Jr., communicated with somebody in that area. The security actually made contact with you at a point because they were concerned about you having a firearm in the manner that you were carrying it, and you had told them directly that you had a permit to carry a firearm.
Let me stop you just for a second, Erica.
Erica's lawyer realizes that she is trying to lie when there is video evidence showing that she was at the gas station and she was armed when she confronted one of James's many girlfriends.
I mean, they've been investigating this case for a while, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
And you have a memory of what you think occurred, okay? Let me talk, all right?
Yeah.
You have a memory of what you think occurred. So this officer is telling you that he seems to have pretty objective evidence that these things happened, all right?
Yeah, which is fine.
So,
But
that's
I
not just
remember
fine,
that.
but
I mean-
hold on, okay? This is your chance, I'll tell you again, to avoid a life sentence, okay? Because Mr. Hayek here, it's fairly easy to walk in and say, look, she was there, all this was going on. She was clearly aiding and abetting what Mr. Reynolds did. And aider and abetter gets a life sentence, okay? So I want you to listen very carefully to what the detective is saying. And, you know, if there's video of you doing that,
And I was there.
well then
No,
don't say it
no,
didn't
no.
happen. Just listen. Listen,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
So let him talk.
Okay.
Don't just say, no, that didn't happen. Let him talk and listen.
Okay.
And maybe your memory will become more clear, okay?
She needs to stop talking. That's what she needs to do. And she really needs to listen to her lawyer because the lawyer is trying to tell her, please be quiet because there's not going to be anything I can do to help you if you continue to incriminate yourself now that the detective let it out the bag that they have a video with you with the same gun assaulting and trying to attempt murder on the girlfriends of your ex-boyfriend. And they found you at the gas station with that quote unquote Alex guy, and you're trying to hold the weapon. And she's sitting up there like, no, that's not it. That's not me. And well, I hear what you say, but that's not me. But she has to understand that the detectives would not have given that piece of evidence if they weren't sure and can confirm that that was you, if they wasn't sure and can confirm that that was the vehicle that is registered in your name or Alex's name, they wouldn't have given you that information. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand that the detectives are strategic, right? Of when they release certain information to you or if they don't release certain information to you. They don't have to really tell you anything, you know. They really have these interrogation conversations with you because they're trying to extract information from you, not necessarily to give you information to try to help your case or try to help your lawyer's case. That's not what they're here for, right? So the lawyer is like trying to plead with her, like, please, like, stop trying to now challenge what the detectives have to say and pay attention and hear and listen to what he's saying to you. Because this is the time when you need to take this information and be like, okay, how about I admit that maybe I was there, maybe I was holding the weapon, but I didn't necessarily shoot anyone, right? And I didn't tell Alex to go shoot anyone. It was just that altercation happened, and then once they started to fight back or something like that, we was in defense mode, and this is why the weapon went out. Whatever, right? Whatever the kids, how she's trying to play this, but she really do need to be quiet, right? Because it's uncannily that you remember everything from a year ago, everything that has to do with your husband, his behavior, his mental state, medication or drugs that he's using, prescriptive drugs that he's using, the fact that you had gotten 16-year-olds involved in a domestic violence situation that you was having with your husband, the fact that you remember that you did shoot the house up, but you don't remember that you have attacked and shot up other women's homes, right? Now you don't remember that you went to the gas station to, whether if it was to pick up something to drink, or if you were drinking or stuff like that. You don't remember anything that has to do with you doing harm per se, or what you will perceive as doing a criminal act, but you remember everything else. And that's going to read to the detective that you're lying. We're not even talking about the fact of your body language, with the arms crossed, letting us know that you're forthcoming or you're withholding or you're in a defensive stance because you're not trying to take in any of the information that's being said to you. I don't know if she's going to really listen to the detective. I don't know if it's going to help her, but this is not looking good, especially what the information that the detectives just gave out, because even if they cannot confirm that she did anything to her husband, they got her on attempted murder for the girlfriends. Let's go on.
I'll go on to say, and I know I'm bringing a lot at you at one time, so I not only have video of you shooting at the house once, but twice, because both shootings, and I also have a video of you driving up, or I should say, I'll be more specific. A vehicle does drive up to the residence, points his car driving westbound on Andrews at Rihanna's car was parked in the driveway, and a screenshot of the license plate of the back car was located in the evidence I collected from cellular communications.
The detective asks Erica what she did after her husband was shot and killed.
In the car, you're driving.
I panicked, and I'm telling you, Alex has the gun to me and telling me it's yours and your kid's life if you say anything. And I parked there for a minute, and I just don't know what to do, you know?
Okay.
And he's like, drive to my mom's, so I end up driving to his mom's house, and then like, this is what happened.
Okay.
Like, on the phone calls in jail, he talks about getting rid of the peace, which I think it was my first weekend.
What day?
Incarcerated.
Do you remember your first week he called you?
I called him.
You called him?
Yeah, we were in contact, me and Alex, for I think 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks? Okay.
I know you guys have a theory about what happened. I understand why you do. And my client's doing her best to tell you what she remembers happened. I mean, right now, do those things exist side by side, or at this point she's just digging a hole?
We already knew that there was a male in the car. Okay. To what degree James' involvement, we didn't know the full degree, so you're kind of give us an idea. But the thing is, though, I'll be directly honest with you. The way that your demeanor is expressed on video, based off of how your daughter had expressed to us. Your daughter had directly told us the night of the shooting. The reason why Joel had kind of skyrocketed is she was the one who told him that you were having an affair with someone else. If you can see how your physical demeanor is going to be presented in those videos, how Rihanna expressed that when they arrived at the motel, that Joel didn't have a gun. Rihanna said that you came out threatening that I'll shoot you with my auto, and that Joel had told her on the ride back down to Andrews that you did have a fully automatic weapon, which we do have audio recording of that. So do you see how the statements that are being provided are along the line, but there's still a lot missing?
From everything that I remember that night. I've told you from when I came from the East Mountains, from Alex's, the date of 4th of July to everything I remember, I have told you.
Police arrested 34-year-old James Senna, saying he was having an affair with Erica Valdez and is connected to her husband's murder. APD says Valdez and Senna were confronted by the husband on July 4th, where they both pulled out handguns. Valdez allegedly went back to their home twice that night, where police say her husband was shot by Senna or Valdez on the second visit. Senna is facing a conspiracy to commit murder charge. Valdez has a detention hearing scheduled for tomorrow for a murder charge.
In the end, Erica pleaded guilty to the reduced charge of second-degree murder, and she was sentenced to 15 years in prison. On the day of her sentencing, the prosecution stated that Erica was a very jealous girlfriend, and they believe that she was involved in many more shootings, but there wasn't enough evidence to charge her with them. Do you think 15 years was enough? When she is released, is she likely to go back to her old life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah, she was way more involved than what was led on, but unfortunately, they didn't have that much information or can tell whether or not it was him or her. 15 years was not enough time for me, perfectly honest, because it seemed like she had all intent to do that to her ex-husband. She showed so much motive with her anger issues, the fact that she was jealous, controlling. She didn't want him to be with no one. She didn't want no one being in her house. The fact that her own daughter gave it up initially, that mom shot up the house again, not once, but twice. And that she was hysterical and she was running around and she was cheating on the boyfriend. She had a lot of motive to do what she did. There wasn't really no real motive for the boyfriend or the guy that she was with to per se really help her and assist her, outside of unless he was getting shot back. Like if the husband was shooting at them back, then I could see him shooting at her. But I don't really think he's gonna go out of his way to be like, okay, I'm going to take your ex-husband out, when clearly your ex-husband has moved on because you're mad because he's with another woman. Men don't necessarily really operate that way. I mean, they could figure out the conversation real clear. Okay, so he's moved on to another chick. He's not really caring. He's getting whatever he's getting with the next chick. So I'm in the clear. You know, that's how a man who's somewhat semi-logical is going to understand the situation, that he's in the clear. He don't have nothing to worry about, right? It's different if you have an ex-husband or an ex-boyfriend who is now stalking you, who's coming over to your house, showing up at your job, showing up at work, showing up when you're going to pick up your children, and it's not his day to pick up his children, things of that sort. Then men be like, okay, I'm gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have an issue with this guy because he's doing too much. He's overstepping the boundaries and the standards, or he's not even showing respect to me in the relationship with that woman. That's how men can sum up whether or not they're gonna have an issue with another guy. But if guy he's literally moving on and he has multiple women and stuff like that, most guys are gonna be like, he's not worried about you. So I don't think 15 years was enough. Hopefully 15 years is enough for her to change her ways and try to be a better individual, a better human, and definitely a better mother. We shall see. Only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. All right, guys, I have one more case for you. This one is going to be very short. I think it's only maybe 15 minutes and stuff, because I want y'all guys to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I appreciate everyone who's been rocking out with me for so long at this point on a beautiful Saturday. Very humid up here. It's like, feel like I'm in a rainforest, but it's very beautiful up here, and I hope it's beautiful down there. Just make sure you hit the like button for me. It do truly help the channel, keeps me in the algorithm when I can do a live stream, right? Which is rarely, not too many, but I try to get out as much as possible. Or you can hit the dislike button if you don't like the content. It still does help the channel. And share this out with anyone who likes these immersive conversations. If you have any cases that you would like me to review, go ahead and put it down in the comment section below. I review and I heart all my comments, guys. I truly, truly do appreciate when people engage, right? Oh, and shout out to Moa. Hi, Moa, darling. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Happy Saturday. Shout out to him for sending 1,500 jewels with a set of bouquet. Thank you, sir. I hope everything is well with you and your family on a Saturday. And yes, don't worry about being late. Don't worry about being late. It is all good. I appreciate you just being here. Shout out to you. And thank you so much again for your financial support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, guys, I only have one more case for you. Like I said, it's really short. We're going to be talking about a killer. All right. It's another female killer. She kills her family right after the cops left. Now, this is more like body cam footage. So I wanted to see what happened. It seemed like, hold on one second. Hey, que lo que, Miss J. How are you? How are you? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Hold on. I think I just pushed my thing down. Like, let's see if I can find it. Hold on one second. Hold on. I think I just lost my case. And that's sad if I did lose my case. That's so sad. See if I can find it again. Oh, yep, I found it. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see. All right. I think I found it, guys. Give me 1 second and I'm going to pull it up again for you, good folks. Thank you so much, Miss J. I hope everything's well with you. Hope everything's well with you, dear. All right. I'm going to pull it up, guys. Oh, you was in those streets, huh? You was in those streets, lady. All right. I see you. All right. So here we go, guys. Let's see what happens.
Chatham 911, what's the address of the emergency?
We got stabbed. My daughter stabbed us.
Your brother did what?
My daughter stabbed us.
A desperate 911 call sends police racing to a home in Bloomingdale, Georgia, where they're forced to confront two emergencies: a severely injured victim and an attacker still on the loose. The following footage has never been seen before.
Where are you stabbed?
Why?
Where's your daughter?
I don't know. I'm in the hotel.
Take a deep breath for me. Try and calm yourself so you can give me some information, okay? We have help on the way for you.
Officers race to the home. It's a familiar address, but as they step inside and call out to the residents, they're met with an ominous silence.
Bloomingdale Police Department! Holly, come out! Police Department! Holly, come out! I hear noise. Police Department! Oh my gosh, oh my god. She's right in there, she's not breathing. Oh my god, there's two victims. 840, I need EMS and fire. We have two victims that are stabbed.
Inside separate bedrooms, officers find 61-year-old James Doolin and his sister, 62-year-old Shirley Doolin, lying in pools of their own blood.
Someone's coming, hon. Where are you bleeding, okay? Just breathe.
And shout out to Miss J. I truly appreciate you, mommy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shout out to her. She done sent 30 jewels with a flower. She also sent 6 jewels with the chill, with the jalapeno, and she sent 100 jewels with the high five. Thank you so much, Miss J. I truly appreciate you. As always, thank you. I appreciate you. Definitely. All right, so let's go on. And like I said, trigger warning, guys, trigger warning. If this is too much for you, you can go ahead and, log off, do what you have to do. I understand that. I want people to keep their peace and stuff, so it does not bother me at all, okay?
Okay, EMS is coming. Okay, come on.
EMS arrives moments later and begins assessing both victims. James is still breathing, but Shirley, who has lost a devastating amount of blood, is beyond saving.
Does she have a pulse?
No.
While EMS throws themselves into trying to save James, officers focus on locating Shirley's daughter, 35-year-old Holly Marie Scott. But as they begin tracking her down, another call comes into dispatch, one that they never anticipated.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
This would be Morgan Road.
Okay, is this in reference to a cutting, ma'am?
A stabbing. I stabbed my mother and my uncle because they're child.
Okay.
They're literal child. My mother, my son, or something like that. I don't know what happened, but they're child, and I just killed them. So I guess I'm going to jail.
And you said they're child.
They have video after video after video of child.
It's a startling accusation, one that investigators will later examine, but the dispatcher's first priority is finding Holly before she hurts someone else.
Okay, where are you, Holly?
I'm driving.
You where?
I'm driving to Devon Road. That's where my son is.
With no way of knowing what Holly intends to do when she reaches her son, the dispatcher alerts officers that she may be heading towards him. Meanwhile, back at the trailer, emotions are running high as officers grapple with the
This just got dark and twisted very fast. Very fast. So the victims are her parents, and apparently her parents are child molesters, according to her. And she said that they molested her son. Those are very, very strong claims. Very, very strong claims. I hope that that's not true, because then put a 1 in the chat if you find out that a family member, whether if it's your parents or not, if you found out a family member violated your children, would you really hold a person against them if they decided to take them out? You know, that's very conflicting, right? That's wow. Woo! I wasn't expecting that. But let's go on.
The tragic turn the night has taken.
We were here earlier, that's why.
Look at me.
We were here earlier, that's what came out. We knew she was high.
According to police records, officers had been called to the trailer by a concerned Holly just hours before she attacked her family.
Hi.
Hi.
We got a call?
Yeah, I gotta go to prison. I got time left and I can't survive out here.
Okay.
Where to? Sorry?
Where you gotta go?
You don't remember?
I want to finish my time so that I don't have to be on trial out here for everything.
What do you mean finish your time?
Sorry?
What do you mean finish your time?
I don't know, sorry.
Are you on anything?
No, not right now. I'm trying to help my mom. Her falling out, so.
Her what, I'm sorry?
Her is falling out of her body. There's all over the bathroom coming from her. Okay.
You're not in any trouble. We're just trying to figure out what happened, what's going
Do
on.
I look like this forever? Covered in Do I look like I'm covered in
No, hon. Are you? No, we don't see anything.
Do I have brown skin? No?
No, honey.
Is your mom available?
If I have brown skin,
Is your mom available to talk to?
No, she's on the toilet. So,
okay.
Yeah.
As the officers took Holly's information, she went to go check on her mom, who called out to them from the bathroom.
805. What you say?
She said I have a colonoscopy tomorrow. That's why I'm passing.
Oh, okay. Stand by one. She's taking the medicine to clear her out.
Confident that Holly's mom was okay, officers turned their attention back to her.
Okay, I have a question for you. What were you talking about? You have prison time left. You want to go back. Can you explain that to me?
No, I think I was speaking for somebody else's memory, honestly.
Oh, no, she's either she's on it now or she's coming off of it.
The officers left without incident, never imagining they'd be coming back to a crime scene mere hours later.
Okay, the road you say you're en route to, is that Devon?
No, I don't think I'm going there. I want to get to the end of this road, and then y'all can pick me up, and I'll just go back.
Okay,
to
end of what road, Holly?
Old River Road.
Okay, you're going to the end of Old River Road?
Yes, ma'am. I think, unless someone, my gas is going to run out soon. All right, I'm going to pull into a subdivision.
However, when officers arrive and scour the area, she's not there. Back near the crime scene, officers speak with James and Shirley's relatives. Although they know little about what happened tonight, they describe Holly as having a long and troubling history.
From your knowledge, you know if Miss Holly's like usually.
So, after looking at her first conversation with the police, that when it was called to the house earlier, she seems like she's off her medication, or she might be under some form of influence. And it seemed like whatever she had going on, she was sick of her parents, specifically her mother, right? And this is why she was requesting that she goes back to jail or she goes back to prison, because she'd rather be in prison than to actually be in the house with her and have to deal with her reality. I think that that's very telling, because while she's making the phone call, while she's ditching town after unaliving her parents, she said that she found out her parents were child molesters, right? I'm not sure if that's true anymore. I'm not sure if that's true. Maybe that was her way of giving herself a alibi or excuse as to why she did what she did. But I'm not really thinking that that's true anymore, per se. And then on top of that, she said that she was going to go link up with her son or go see her son. She gave the operator points where they're supposed to meet her at, a location and stuff like that, because they want to make sure that she's contained and she's safe and everybody else is safe, because as of right now, she can go on a killing spree, right? Because she already did a multiple murder. But she's not even there. She's not even there. So she sent them to a different location, but she's not even present. She's not there. Hopefully we get a little bit more detail while we continue to watch the video. Maybe they'll be able to pin her cell phone to certain cell towers for them to actually find where her location is before she decides to dump her phone. But this whole situation is not seeming like it has anything to really do with child molestation. It seems that she's losing it, right? She's having a mental episode, a violent mental episode. So we're about to hear from an aunt, I think, or another family member who's going to explain her turbulence of a life. It seemed like she has always had issues and problems, whether it is with the law or even with her family. So we'll probably get a little bit more detail about her background.
On drugs? Does she take any medication?
I don't know. She's had a past history of being in and out of jail ever since she was 15 years old. So she had made terroristic threats in New York, like when she was 15 years old. So then she's been, in and out of probation and in and out of jail, and it was the whole situation. But she's been in a lot of trouble and drug use and alcohol. And last I heard that when they said that she was schizophrenic, she was bipolar, schizophrenic.
Holly had recently been released from prison and was living with her mom and uncle while on parole. However, messages from Shirley to a friend indicate things weren't going smoothly, with some detailing how Holly smashed their TV. Still on the phone with the dispatcher, Holly's explanation for the murders becomes more and more concerning.
She got possessed by Satan, and then I did that. So someone wanted me to do it.
Oh, possessed by Satan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right.
Finally, after talking for several more minutes, Holly gives the dispatcher another location.
Holly? Hello?
Yes?
Okay, you still there?
I'm at the Quick Trip now.
At Quick Trip?
Yes.
Officers immediately redirect toward the gas station, but as they close in, Holly makes another disturbing statement, this time about her car.
I don't know if there's a body in the trunk, but let's find out.
Okay, what'd you say, Holly?
Let's see if there's a body in the trunk, because something just said, check the trunk.
Okay, you talking about your trunk?
Yeah, there's no body.
Holly's rambling statements continue until an officer pulls into the Quick Trip parking lot and spots her.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Turn around! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now!
Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Ah. Oh God.
805, you can clear it. She's 1095. You're under arrest. You know what for? You got the knife on you?
No, sir, I have no weapons. None.
Where's the knife at?
None.
With Holly detained, officers check her trunk and confirm that no body is inside. She is then advised of her Miranda rights and agrees to speak without an attorney present.
What happened?
I was sleeping and I came out of my sleep and I grabbed a knife and I stabbed my uncle twice in the chest. I wanted to do more, but he got up.
Despite EMS working to save James, his wounds are too severe, and he succumbs to his injuries. His autopsy report corroborates Holly's story. He suffered 2 stab wounds, one that pierced his right lung and another that pierced his liver. Evidence in his bedroom leads investigators to believe he was initially attacked while in bed.
And then I went into my mom and I stabbed her like a couple times. I feel like it was 8 times.
Shirley was stabbed 6 times, including once in the upper shoulder and neck area, severing her jugular vein. She also suffered defensive wounds to both palms.
So what made you call 911?
I had to.
You knew you didn't?
I planned from the start to do that. Not the start. That's not what happened. When I was driving, I didn't have a place to go. What's the question, sir?
What made you call 911?
I killed my mom and my uncle.
You just you needed a call?
Yes.
I got you. Did you know they were dead before you left? Huh?
Because Holly had said she was driving toward the home where her son was staying, officers confirmed that he was safe with his grandparents. Investigators later arranged for the child to undergo a forensic interview, and according to police records, the investigation found no evidence supporting Holly's accusations that he'd been sexually abused.
He's dead to me now.
Who is?
So you don't have to worry about it. My son, I'll never see him again.
Oh,
okay.
According to court documents, Holly was later indicted on 6 counts, 2 counts of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. In February 2026, she pled guilty to the malice murder charges combined with the aggravated assault charges. Holly was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Watch our full videos as they were originally made, with no randomly muted words or details cut. We've also dropped brand new EWU videos available only on EWU Plus.
Shout out to EWE. Make sure you go ahead and look at their channel. They give out great stuff. So that one was very surprising and disturbing, but I did say that after reviewing the first body cam footage of her initial interaction with the police, I did not believe her story about the child molestation. I didn't believe it at that point because it seemed like she was already agitated and aggravated of the fact that she had to even help or assist her elder mother and her uncle, which is her mother's brother, the elder uncle. She was mad that her life is not the life that she really wanted to live, right? Even though she was in control of it, she was in control of majority of the things that happened to her. She was not accepting the reality. There was a reason why the child was in custody of the father's grandparents and not in her custody or the custody of her own mother and uncle, right? That one was weird. That one was weird. I don't understand why they gave her life with the possibility of parole. I don't think she deserved parole. I really don't. And maybe one of the reasons why she made those disturbing 911 calls and was staying on the line with the dispatcher and giving her a wild goose chase was to try to plead her case of insanity, right? We do know that she has mental issues. She was diagnosed with being schizophrenia and stuff like that. But the reason why she got that type of time and she's not going into a medical prison is because everything that she did was strategic up to the point of calling initially and then calling after she unalived her uncle and her mom. She called them and then she made up a whole story about her son. Then she said that she was going to go see her son, but she didn't. She was running around town trying to fill up gas, and she was just literally trying to, get the police off her tail, pretty much, right? And then she started making reference of having a body in the trunk to make the detectives fear that she is going out on a killing spree, and all of that was intentional. So that's the reason why they gave her the time that she got. Now the whole parole situation, I'm not too keen on that, why they decided to do it. It is what it is, but she will have to at least serve. So let's see. So with her, she would probably have to at least serve about 45 to 50 years for two murders, two homicides, before she can even be up for parole. She will have to serve that amount of time. But that was a real interesting one. If I'll say the least. That was a very, very, very interesting one. I hope y'all enjoyed that little small one. Miss J said this was extremely sad. The cops should never left. Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't have left. They should have had called someone. Literally, she probably needed to get a mental evaluation right then and there, right? And they would have known that, something's off, right? But they did it. They thought that as long as they heard that, there was life in the house and all that stuff like that, everything was fine. Skinny said, what a nut. Poor kid. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And shout out to Moa once again for giving 10 Jills with the thumbs up. I truly appreciate you, sir. Truly, truly appreciate you. All right, so folks, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the 3 cases that we went over today. Again, please make sure you hit the like button for me. It truly helps the channel. You could hit the down button, still helps the channel. It keeps me in the algorithm. Share this out to anyone who likes these type of conversations where we go over these type of cases. If you have any case that you would like me to review at the end of this live stream, go ahead and put it down in the comment section. I read my comments. I appreciate feedback, and I'm going to put it in my trusty book, and we'll put it on as one of the cases that we will go over on this channel. Someone did say that they wanted me to review Brandon Tatum's interview with the case, I guess, in referencing to Knowing Wells. I think that I will, oblige. So look out for my next one. We probably will review Tatum's interview. All right. And see how that go. And if y'all like that one. And shout out again to Moa for the 10 Jewels. Appreciate you, good sir. Appreciate you. So yes, please look out for that. I hope I can come back soon. Because like I said, it's been a very busy month. Actually a very busy 2 months for me, and I haven't really had that much time to actually come and do a live. So hopefully I'll get some time again so I can come live and I can put that out for you. But until then, enjoy your Saturday. Blessings to you all. Blessings to your family. Stay safe and have a good time. And I will see you on the next one. Talk to you soon, everyone. Take care and bye-bye.